Hello, everyone. How are you today? I hope you're well. How is your new year going so far? It feels like the year is going by so quickly, but this seems to be the case every year. It feels like just yesterday it was New Year's Eve and time is flying. Now, I really love movies. I'm not sure about you, but I used to be a movie buff, which means to really enjoy movies and be knowledgeable about them. When I was younger, I had much more time to watch movies. Today, I have less time, but I thought it would be nice to have a look at IMDb's top 250 movies of all time. Okay, so number one, we have Shawshank Redemption. Have you seen this movie? I think it's a brilliant movie. I remember the first time I watched it, I had so many emotions. By the end of the movie, I felt inspired and motivated. And also, remember, let's tick off how many movies we have seen. So I have my pen and some paper here. So, number one, yes, I've seen. I think it's a brilliant movie. I'm not sure that I would give it first place. I'm not sure if I'd give it the top spot, but nevertheless, it's a very good movie. It was made in 1994. Wow, that's an incredibly long time ago now. Makes me feel very old. If you haven't, I recommend watching it. Then we have The Godfather. This is an absolute classic. I think personally I would promote that to higher, maybe to the first, and we'll go through the rest as well. But The Godfather was a very good movie. There is a lot of drama in the movie and it keeps you captivated throughout the movie. You're so engrossed in the story. I think a lot of movies today, especially with Marvel and superhero movies, which are also very good, but I feel like there lacks a story at times. Now, this could be bias because I am biased towards the classic movies. Then we have The Dark Knight. This was a brilliant movie. The atmosphere it created, and even though it's a superhero movie, it almost felt real because Batman's character was given much more depth, and along the movie you were taken along with his journey, and so you really identified with his struggles. So the first three I've ticked. Then we have The Godfather Part 2. I personally feel this movie was better than the original. And sometimes it's very rare for a sequel to be better than the first movie. Often you have a movie that's really successful and then the movie studio just wants to capitalize and make as much money as possible. So they just pump out sequel after sequel after sequel. I can think about the Fast and Furious, for example, where they have, I'm not sure where they are now, I think Fast and Furious 10. So this movie was a piece of art and it really developed the story. So that is 4, let me tick that. 12 Angry Men. I haven't watched this. So this was made in 1957 and it is at number 5. So looking at it, I can justify spending time watching this because it has a high rating. Not only does it have a high rating, but it's been rated highly by 904,000 people. So 904,000 people have taken their time to rate this as a high movie. So it's making me feel like maybe I should watch this. Number 6, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Yes, I have watched this. I think it's a very good movie. I think the Lord of the Rings trilogy was a really good movie. I think in terms of the action, the story, the special effects as well. In particular, Gollum's character. This really catapulted the actor's career because Gollum's character added more depth to the movie. Then Schindler's List. Yes, I have seen this. This is a classic movie created by Steven Spielberg, who is a legendary director. Pulp Fiction. Yes, I have seen this. This is an iconic movie, which has been embedded into which has been embedded into pop culture. So pop culture is popular culture. It's things that many people know about. So this is a very good movie with a good director. Then we have The Lord of the Rings, another part. So 2 of The Lord of the Rings have made it into the top 10. So again, this is giving me the impression that this is a good movie. If I haven't seen it, this is good promotion and good encouragement to really watch the movies, because 2 of the movies have made it into the top 10. The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. It rings a bell. So when I say it rings a bell, it's something which I am familiar with, but I'm not 100% sure that I have watched this. Forrest Gump. Yes, this is a classic movie, and again, it's a piece of art in describing and narrating a story. And I think it was so interesting because you see the characters' development in different periods in history. So it was quite interesting and something that hadn't been done before. And we have another Lord of the Rings at number 12. Wow. Number 13, we have Fight Club. And this is a brilliant movie. It's a movie which was groundbreaking at the time because it has such a unique story, and it has twists and turns, and you're not sure what is going to happen, and you're trying to figure out the story as you go. Okay, then we have Inception. Now, Inception at times, I remember a lot of people were confused about this movie, but the visual effects were outstanding. I was astonished by the special effects, and the story was on the edge of your seat stuff. So you were so engrossed, so invested. You wanted to know what happened with the story, and has very good actors as well, with Leonardo DiCaprio. 15, we have Star Wars. This is a classic, and yes, I really enjoyed Star Wars. It's a classic. It's an ultimate classic of good versus evil. And even though we've had lots of Star Wars movies after this, I don't think they managed to capture the magic of the original Star Wars, especially if you were of that era and watching the movie at that time. I think it must have been amazing. Now, special effects have progressed tremendously, but in terms of the story, it was fantastic. Now, number 16, The Matrix. This arguably would be my number one. I think this is a fantastic movie. I think I watched this movie like three times in the cinema. I had the cassette tapes, the VHS tapes. I had the DVD box set. I was obsessed with this movie, and it even encouraged me to get into martial arts. I remember trying to do the same moves as Neo's character. So they combine a lot of different styles into the movie. One of my favorite aspects was the music. The music was fantastic. There's a guy called Rob Dugan. If you haven't listened to his music, check out some of his songs on YouTube. They evoke so much emotion. So he mixes his voice with some classical and modern music and combines it really well. And I liked how it matched the action in the movie. And I think this is actually a timeless movie. I've seen some clips recently, and it's made me feel like I want to go back and rewatch the movie because it still feels fresh, and especially with the special effects and things like bullet time, it really propelled the movie industry in terms of thinking about what is possible when you're making a movie. So this is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Goodfellas, this is a really good gangster movie, really good actors, again, a very good story, brilliant acting. So this is a very good movie. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This is one I haven't seen, so I can add that to the list. Interstellar. This is one of my favorite movies of all time because I'm fascinated with space. I like science fiction movies. There's a very good story. The special effects, again, are amazing. And even though it's science fiction, it tries to be grounded in some science. So the story feels like it could be possible, it's plausible that this could be true. Seven, this is a thriller, which is a classic movie. It's a Wonderful Life. I haven't seen. Seven Samurai. This rings a bell. I think I have seen some of this, but I'm not entirely sure, so I'll leave that off the list. The Silence of the Lambs. This is a really good movie. Yeah, so this is a classic, so that's one I've seen. Saving Private Ryan, yes. City of God, yes, I have seen quite some time ago. The Green Mile, yes. It has similar aspects to The Shawshank Redemption in that it's set in a prison. Very good acting. Life is Beautiful, no, that's one to add to the list to watch. Terminator 2, yes. It's quite interesting to see Terminator 2 before the original Terminator. So the sequel was judged to be better than the original. And it's subjective. What do you think if you've seen these movies? What do you prefer, the first or the second? I personally prefer the second because it just has more elements in the story. It builds on the first movie and just takes it to another level and just knocks it out of the park. Another Star Wars, yes. Back to the Future, yes. This is one of the ultimate family movies, I think. It's a feel good movie. It's something that you can watch with children, young people, old people. It has common themes of adventure, overcoming difficulties, finding yourself. It's a coming of age story. So the main character grows along the movie. Spirited Away, I have heard of this movie. I think I've seen clips, but I haven't watched the whole movie. The Pianist, this rings a bell, but I'm not entirely sure. Gladiator, yes. I remember watching this movie and just feeling blown away. It's just an epic movie. If I had to use the word epic, this is such an epic movie. It's on a grand scale. It's on a big stage. The emotions feel amped up and amplified. The stakes are high. The journey that they take you on in the movie is amazing, coupled with the music. I know they've made a sequel to the movie, but which I haven't watched, but I don't think they can recapture the magic of the original. Parasite, yes. This was a really good movie, a really good story. Psycho, I haven't seen. The Lion King, yes. I think this is one of the best animations of all time. And it's not just the animation that makes the movie good, it's the emotions that make the movie good. Because when they tried to remake this movie, they didn't capture the emotions of the animals. So the emotions of the animals with the music just make this an absolute classic movie. The Departed, yes. It's a very good movie. Grave of the Fireflies, no. Whiplash, no, although I have heard of this movie. And I remember sometimes it can be off-putting when you hear about a movie that you should watch. And I felt that I should watch this movie because it's getting so much praise. But I didn't feel in the right mood to watch this movie. So I'll put it on the list of movies to watch. American History X. Yes. This is a very powerful movie. Spider-Man. Yes. In terms of animation, it's one of the best animated movies I've watched. It's a visual treat for your eyes. The Prestige, yes, brilliant acting. Harakiri, no. Leon, yes. This is such a brilliant movie. This is a type of movie where your life stops. If you're having any stress or worries and you're watching the movie, you just completely forget about your life and you're so engrossed in the movie, and then it's so sad when the movie's over. So this is really good. Casablanca, yes. This was shown many times on BBC. This is a complete classic movie. It takes you to a different time, a different place. It's quite nostalgic. The Usual Suspects, yes. This is a very good, unexpected movie. Don't want to give any spoilers, but if you haven't watched it, watch this movie. It's a slow burner, but it keeps you captivated, and you are trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together to figure out what happened. Untouchable, I haven't seen. Cinema Paradiso, yes. I have a bit of a soft spot for this movie. I remember watching this when I was very young, and it's a coming of age story, and I identified to this movie. And it just feels magical. It's one of those movies where it touches your heart, and you can just get lost in the movie, and you can really relate to the characters. Modern times, no. Wow, it was made in 1936. Alien, yes. This is a classic science fiction horror movie. They also made many sequels, but they didn't quite capture the magic, the essence of the first movie. Rear Window, no. Once Upon a Time in the West, no. Dune Part 2, no, although I have watched the first one. Django Unchained, I've seen bits, but not the full movie. City Lights, no. Apocalypse Now, yes. This is quite an intense movie, and you have to be in the right mood to watch it. I remember there was a lot of backstory to this movie about the production, that it took very long to make, and making this movie was very intense, and the movie is very intense. But in terms of a war movie, it is a classic movie. Memento. This, I would say, also is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a thriller. It keeps you guessing throughout the movie, and again, you're trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. It's not really a movie you can watch and not concentrate. So as opposed to a superhero movie where you don't really have to concentrate on the story so much, this movie you do. But it's very rewarding, personally rewarding, when you're watching the movie and you're paying attention to the details. Wall-E, yes, this is a very cute movie. It's a family movie, has a lot of very cute animations, and I like how they tied the emotions. So much like The Lion King, where the animation, it takes second stage to the emotion you're trying to create. And I think that's the best way to create a movie, rather than concentrating on the visual aspect and not really paying attention to the emotions. It doesn't really work. But if you can have two together, that's fantastic. Raiders of the Lost Ark, yes, classic, also a family movie. The Lives of Others, no. Avengers Infinity War, yes. I liked how they brought all of the characters together. Sunset Boulevard, no. 12th Fail, no. That seems quite interesting. So it's a 2023 movie. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I don't think I have watched this, but I watched the original. Paths of Glory, no. Witness for Prosecution, no. The Shining, yes. This is a classic horror movie. The Great Dictator, no. Aliens, yes. So the sequel made it in. Inglorious, no. The Dark Knight Rises, yes. Coco, I don't think I've watched the entire movie, but I've watched parts of it. Amadeus rings a bell, but no. Toy Story, yes. Old Boy, yes. Really brilliant movie. Again, you're trying to figure out what's happening in the movie, so you can't really switch off. You have to keep focused. Dr. Strangelove, no, although I am familiar with what the movie is about. Avengers Endgame, yes. I think this was a brilliant way to conclude Avengers. I think it was one of their best movies, and since then, they haven't really made brilliant movies. I think they're trying to recapture that feel. American Beauty, yes. Good Will Hunting, yes. A really good, feel good movie. Braveheart, yes. Classic. Again, this is tied into pop culture. Das Boot, no. Princess Monarchy, no. Your Name, no. High and Low, no. Three Idiots, no. Although I have seen bits of this movie. Joker, yes. The acting is very intense, and this style of movie is where they try to make superhero movies feel real, so you could identify with this actor. Once Upon a Time in America, I'm not sure, so I'll say no. Singing in the Rain, I've seen bits, but I'll say no. Capernaum, no. Come and See, no. Requiem for a Dream, yes. I wouldn't watch this movie if you want to relax. It's quite an intense movie. Toy Story 3, yes. Star Wars Return of the Jedi, yes. The Hunt, no. But it seems like an interesting title. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, yes. This is one of the best movies of all time. I think Jim Carrey did such an astounding job. His acting in the movie is amazing. The story in itself as well is just truly unique. This is a really good movie. Kuru, no. Space Odyssey, no. Reservoir Dogs, yes. This was at the time in the 90s where there was a lot of gangster movies, and this was one of the movies, and it signified that time, that period. So, for example, in our 2020s and late 2010s, we've had an influx of superhero movies. At that time, I feel that there was a lot of gangster movies. The Apartment, no. The Lawrence of Arabia, I've dipped into bits when it's been shown on TV here and there, but I haven't watched it from beginning to end. Incendies, no. Scarface, yes. This will be grouped with the gangster movies. Double Indemnity, no. North by Northwest, I've seen bits. Citizen Kane, again, I've seen bits, but not from beginning to end. Heat, yes. This is a thriller movie, and it has two iconic actors in it. So this is a very good movie. 107, no. Full Metal Jacket, yes. It's quite an intense movie, like Apocalypse Now. Vertigo, no. Up, yes. Very good animated movie, good family movie. Amelie, yes. A very good, feel-good movie. Oppenheimer, I actually haven't watched this yet, even though I've read good things about the movie. I haven't watched it yet. A Clockwork Orange, yes. Quite an intense movie. To Kill a Mockingbird, yes. I've also read the book, which is brilliant. A Separation? No. Die Hard? Yes. This again is linked with pop culture. It feels that this movie is watched every Christmas. It's a very good action movie. The Sting? No. Indiana Jones? Yes. Like Stars on Earth? No. Metropolis? No. Snatch? Yes. This was a very good movie by Guy Ritchie in terms of telling a story and using the medium of cinema to tell that story. So you can tell a story in different ways, through a book, through a comic, through animation, through a camera, and the fight scenes are very good. 1917. Yes, I think this movie was very good. I liked how it felt like the movie was shot in one continuous shot. So you have some momentum going. It doesn't feel like there are breaks in the movie. So it keeps you going and you have to catch your breath at times. LA Confidential? Yes. Bicycle Thieves? No. Downfall? No. Dangle? No. Taxi Driver? Rings a bell, but I'm not sure. Hamilton? No. The Wolf of Wall Street? Yes. Batman Begins? Yes. For a few dollars more? No. Green Book? It rings a bell, but no. Some Like It Hot? No. The Truman Show? Yes. And The Truman Show is a type of movie that when you are watching this movie, you are already thinking this is one of the best movies of all time. Just the concept of the movie, the acting, the journey you go along in the movie, and by the end you can justify your thoughts that yes, this belongs in a list of the top 10, top 20 movies. Judgment at Nuremberg? No. The Kid? No. The Father? No. Shutter Island? Rings a bell, but I'll say no. All About Eve? No. There Will Be Blood? Rings a bell, but I can't confidently say yes. Jurassic Park? Yes. This was the first movie I watched in the cinema, and I was completely blown away, and it just grew my love for dinosaurs. I became obsessed with dinosaurs. I think I wanted to become an archaeologist at one point. I memorized hundreds of names of dinosaurs, and this was an amazing movie. Casino, yes. The Sixth Sense is iconic, and I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but it's the journey it takes you on is fantastic. Ran, no. Top Gun Maverick, yes. I'm quite surprised it's made its way into the top 250, but it is quite low down, 145. No Country for Old Men, yes, it's a very intense movie. Pan's Labyrinth, I've heard about this movie but haven't seen it. The Thing, no. Unforgiven, yes. This is a throwback to classic Western movies. A Beautiful Mind, yes. This is a very emotional movie. Kill Bill, yes. In terms of action, it's a very good movie. The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, no. Yojimbo, no. Prisoners, no. Finding Nemo, yes. The Great Escape, no. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Again, I've seen bits, but not the whole movie. Howl's Moving Castle. No. The Wild Robot. No. The Elephant Man. No. Dial M for Murder. No. Rashomon. No. Gone with the Wind. I've seen parts. I think it's been impossible not to, because this is such an old movie and it was shown on TV quite a lot. But I haven't seen the whole movie. Chinatown? No. The Secret in Their Eyes? No. Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels? Yes. Klaus? No. V for Vendetta? Yes. Very good action movie. Inside Out? Yes. I think this is a very good family movie, and the way they tie in coming of age and dealing with your emotions and animation make it very interesting. Three Billboards? No. Raging Bull? Yes. Very intense movie. The Bridge on the River Kwai? No. Trainspotting? Yes. Very good performance by Ewan McGregor. This type of movie was not glamorous, and it showed the gritty life of a group of people, and it has a very good story. Catch Me If You Can? Yes. If I compared this to Trainspotting, it seems much more glamorous. It's a good adventure movie. Fargo? Yes. Warrior? Yes. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows? Yes. Grand Torino? Yes. Spider-Man No Way Home? Yes. I'm surprised that it's in the top 250. $1 Million Baby? Yes. My Neighbor Totoro? No. Mad Max Fury Road? Yes. Ben-Hur? No. Children of Heaven? No. 12 Years a Slave? Yes. Barry Lyndon? No. Blade Runner? Yes. It's a classic movie. It's quite relatable to today's society in terms of AI. Before Sunrise? No. The Grand Budapest Hotel? It rings a bell, I'm not sure. Hacksaw Ridge? I haven't seen it the whole way through. Dead Poets Society? Yes. Gone Girl? No. Demon Slayer? No. Memories of Murder? No. The Name of the Father? No. Monsters Inc.? Yes. The Gold Rush? No. Ratatouille? I haven't seen the whole way through. Wild Tales? No. How to Train Your Dragon? No. Jaws? Yes. A classic movie here. The Deer Hunter? No. Maharaja? No. Sherlock Jr.? No. The General? No. Mary and Max? No. On the Waterfront? No. Le Mans 66? No. Wages of Fear? No. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington? No. Wild Strawberries? No. The Third Man? No. I have seen this one. Logan at 213. Personally, I would put this higher up. This was a breath of fresh air. I love X-Men, in particular the animated series and the comics. And the X-Men movies were okay. However, Logan really lifted the blanket on the visual aspect. It lifted the cover so you could see the action sequences, which are quite brutal, so it's not suitable for younger children, but it's a very good movie. Rocky? Yes. This movie catapulted Sylvester Stallone into stardom. It's a very good movie, very motivational. The Tokyo Story? No. The Big Lebowski? Yes. It's a very random movie, which is quite fun. The Seventh Seal, no. Spotlight, no. Room, no. The Terminator, yes. Classic movie. Hotel Rwanda, yes. Platoon, no. Pirates of the Caribbean, yes. Lahane, no. Jai Bim, no. Before Sunset, no. The Best Years of Our Lives, no. The Passion of Joan of Arc, no. The Exorcist, I've seen parts but not the whole way through. The Wizard of Oz, again, but I know what the story is about. And it's quite interesting how movies can make their way into pop culture, but you don't have to had watched the whole movie the whole way through. For example, in The Matrix, they make reference to The Wizard of Oz. In life, in terms of advertising or other movies, they make reference to other movies, so you can know what the movie is about. The Incredibles, yes. Rush, yes. Network, no. Stand By Me, yes. Has a fantastic soundtrack and acting, and it's a brilliant coming-of-age movie. So this is one of my favorite movies of all time. The Sound of Music, no. Hachi, A Dog's Tale, no. My Father and My Son, no. The Handmaiden, no. To Be or Not to Be, no. The Iron Giant, I've seen parts. The Battle of Algiers, no. Into the Wild, no. A Man Escaped, no. The Grapes of Wrath, no. Groundhog Day, yes. I feel this should be higher up. It's a very funny movie. Amours Perros, no. The Help, no. Rebecca, no. Silent Voice, no. Drisham, no. So there we have it, the 250 movies of all time. And if you are counting, let me know how many you have seen. I'm going to do a quick calculation here. So I have seen 107 out of the top 250. It would be interesting to know how many you have watched. In the future, I will cover some more of my favorite movies that I recommend to help you improve your English. But today I just wanted to look at the top 250. Do you agree with the top 10? What are some of your favorite movies and why do you like them? For example, I love The Matrix because of the action, the story, the special effects. And there are certain movies which you rewatch, and there are certain movies that you don't really want to watch too many times. For example, Cinema Paradiso, I wouldn't want to watch it too many times because I want to keep that special feeling that I had when I first watched the movie. So movies, I think, are a brilliant way not only to improve your English, but also to work your imagination. They can get rid of stress for a while, can take you to another place. And so when you have to come back to the real world, you're able to feel more relaxed. They can motivate you, they can inspire you. So I think movies are fantastic. Now you have TV shows, TV series, which are different to movies. So a movie, they only have an hour and a half to 3 hours to tell a story. But a TV show, they can go more in depth into the character. And that's something that I will talk about in another podcast as well. To help you with your English learning, I have created a fantastic ebook. It's completely free to download, and you will find the link to it in my description. So remember, let me know what are some of your favorite movies. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you next time. Thank you, and bye bye.